Greetings and welcome to Step 2, Developing Relationships with Funders. In this short presentation, we're going to talk about two different things: making the approach and then developing the relationship with the grant maker. Before you begin developing the relationship with the grant maker, you first need to make the approach and do your homework. Most importantly, the homework can be done utilizing the organization's website. So you would want to go onto the grant maker's website and look for all different types of information, such as the background of the organization, the name of the board of directors, to see if there's any networking that can potentially be done. You would also want to look for the grant guidelines to get more specific details on those. Also, it'd be interesting to try to see if you can find other types of grants or funding initiatives that the organization is undertaking. Also, you can typically find on these websites funded activities, meaning maybe the last iteration of grants that were approved by the organization. So this will give you some insight into what they're looking for and how those grants are written. Also, some organizations will have microsites for particular funding activities. So some of the larger organizations will have a smaller website just for certain grants or funding activities, and so you would want to look and seek those out as well. And then if you feel compelled to do so, or you feel like it would be appropriate, you can call the foundation. Now, the only warning about that is that you have to be prepared to talk, because they may have some time on their hands and be interested to hear about your proposal, and so you'd have to be ready for whatever questions they may have. So let's hypothetically say that after doing your homework, you find that this organization's grant and their mission and purpose seem to all fit. And if that's the case, then it's time for you to start to work on a relationship with the funder. Now, the text goes into details on these, but basically there's 4 steps in trying to develop a relationship. One of the steps would be to send the funder just a brief email inquiry, noting your interest in the grant and maybe asking some questions as they mentioned in the text. Another one would be to call the foundation and speak to someone regarding your idea to see if they like the idea, if they think it's something they'd be interested in reading more about. Once again, when you call, you got to be ready to explain your idea and also answer any questions that you can think they may ask. Another thing to kind of make it official, and some grants require that you send in this before you send in a proposal, is a brief letter of inquiry to the funder. This is actually going to be the assignment that you have for this particular module. Another thing would be, depending on the grant, would be an invitation that you would provide to the funder to come for a site visit. And so kind of the way the book spells it out, and I agree completely, is that they should not feel compelled or obligated for this site visit, but it's just the act of inviting them shows that you're trying to develop a meaningful professional relationship with their organization. So after you read through Step 2, you're going to have 2 things to do for this particular module. First would be the discussion board posting. And then secondly, the assignment that I'm asking you to do for Module 2 would be to write a letter of inquiry to the grant funder that you chose in your proposal identification assignment. And the details of what I'm looking for in this letter of inquiry can be found on the Dropbox in Module 2 for the Module 2 assignment. If you have any questions, of course, contact me. If not, I wish you the best of luck.